The public school system just was not able to deliver what we wanted for our kids. We wanted them to be excited about learning. We wanted them to be lifelong learners. And more I heard, I don't want to go to school, I'm sick, I'm tired, I hate this project. I was like, I'm forcing my kids to be and check the boxes that the school system is telling them that they need to check for their learning when they hate it. It was going against everything that I fundamentally believed in as a parent, as an educator myself.
And the things that weren't working in their public school were things like the amount of support that they got, the tutoring that was available, and just the lack of structure. The purpose of going in and getting the exam and getting through the exam was to pass the exam so that you could get the grades and you could move on. And it really wasn't about knowing the information for use later.
The effect of that kind of grading on at least my kids that I noticed was it stole their love of education and learning.
They went from when they were really young, they had this fire where it was like a candle, and they really wanted to learn, and they were excited. And over the years, as they got closer to high school, Nicole and I just saw that fire, that candle just dimming, and the light was kind of going out. And what are we gonna do? How can we stop that?
There were a lot of really cool private schools in the area that sounded great on paper. And we were like, we could just try that, and they could stay at home and it would be fine. But then if it doesn't work out, we're one more year closer to graduation. And that was when we were like, okay, well, what can we send our kids to Delphi? And do they want to go?
I was able to attend Delphian as a kid. The entire program is aligned around empowering the kids to be able to educate themselves. It happened for me, for sure, where I went from feeling like I was a student and I was the receiver of education to someone that was responsible for the education itself.
Delphian has structured their program to focus on first teaching kids how to learn, because once you have that, then you have the ability to be a lifelong learner.
In the other school systems that I was at, it was trying to pass the test, whereas in the Delphian program, it's how can I use this information to have more power, have more ability, and be a lifelong student. At Delphian, I never felt like failure was a failure. I always felt like failure was exposing more things that I could learn, or showing the staff and my supervisors and people supporting me how to help me, because they could see where I needed the help. Once they started at Delphian, we saw an immediate change, and it was almost too good to be true. We were just kind of pinching ourselves. They started getting really excited about learning again. They cared about what they were studying.
The combination of acquiring the knowledge and then being able to use that knowledge and show what you've learned in a project of your choosing, of something that could be exciting to you, wow, that's huge.
So that emphasis on knowing it and being able to use it is completely different than being able to memorize it just to pass a test. That's where I think the real magic happens in the program.
I think education should be to inspire lifelong learners and to give the kids as many tools as possible that they can have in their own little toolbox that they take with them forever.
Elliot and Leah can untangle or approach any subject, no matter how complex or daunting, with the tools that they get out of the program. And that's what we want, right? We want our kids to grow up into students who are always curious and always have the abilities to satisfy their curiosity and learn whatever they want to learn.